So yesterday I was playing a little bit of Call of Duty with a good friend of mine, and it made me think about this channel and how it's been neglected slightly. I have actually been recording a few things in my free time, little projects, which have yet to come to anything. They're not finished yet, so we'll see if I end up posting more stuff. I do intend to post more stuff to this channel. It was made a year ago and nothing's really happened, but I've got more time now, so expect more to be coming. And yeah, so it's a little Call of Duty commentary. This is Black Ops 6. I pre-ordered it actually. No, I bought it on its day of release, and I played it for a day, and then I played it again about 2 weeks later, and then here I am a month and a half later giving it another go. But yeah, I don't know, COD doesn't hit the same as it used to maybe. And also I was getting back into Counter-Strike, so I had less time for Call of Duty, but it's a fun game. I actually had a lot of fun playing it yesterday, so might get back into that a little bit more, particularly if my friend Danny is up for it as well, because it's good to play with him, good to catch up with friends while playing games. It's a nice way to spend some time. But yeah, this channel, its whole purpose was to do with gaming. Gaming's been quite a good release for me ever since I was pretty young. I like just going to my friend's house and playing on the Xbox, playing Halo and Halo 3, FIFA, like starting at like FIFA 08 probably, back in the good old days. Ronaldinho, what a guy. And yeah, it's always been a big thing for me, and I've played quite a few games over the years. Spent a lot of time on Counter-Strike, slightly unfortunately, but it's built some useful skills which probably have been transferred into other games. Like, my sniping here isn't fantastic, but I'm hitting some shots which I wouldn't be able to hit if I hadn't played 2,000 hours of Counter-Strike. So yeah, it's not lost time. It is lost time. I don't know how I'm going to try swing that for myself, but it's definitely kind of lost time. But I've enjoyed a lot of single player games over the years too, and I think I'd like to possibly talk about them. And yeah, there's a few ideas I have. I've started playing some newer games recently. I say newer games, new to me, and I think there'd be some possible content there. But we'll see. This channel's kind of it's on the back burner. It's like a little side project really. I've got a few main projects going on at the moment which will be released on the main channel if I'm happy with them at the end. Emphasis on the if, because I don't think I'll be posting stuff if I don't think it's at least somewhat entertaining or meaningful or something. There needs to be some value. I don't want to just post spam. So, which is kind of what this is, to be fair. This is a bit spammy, but I guess this is more of a spammy channel. And I've not created all these different channels for like, I don't know. I'm not exactly building an empire here. Potentially at some point it will be more like that if I've posted a lot of content and actually gained some kind of an audience, but it's not really the purpose. This is more for learning new skills and just having a project to do outside of work, because I think one of the things I fear the most is just the idea of in 20-30 years time I'm still just doing the same stuff. I don't want to be waking up in the morning and joining a stand-up and saying, yeah, this is what I worked on yesterday, this is what I'm working on today, because that's just not a life I really want for myself. It's good for now, pays the bills, it's why I can afford a nice computer and the equipment I have, but yeah, it doesn't fulfill me creatively, or like, I don't know, it feels like I'm wasting my time in many ways, wasting my potential. I have a lot of belief in myself, and ultimately I think I need to push myself and see if I can fulfill that potential. And even if I find out that there is no potential there and it was all just an illusion, I think that will bring me some level of peace. Just knowing that, like, I gave it a go and it didn't work out, but that's better than not giving it a go and always having that what if in the back of my mind. So yeah, at the end of last year, I basically had a bit of time to reflect, and my reflections were, I need to do more things, because I'm the sort of person who has a lot of ideas of different projects I can do, different like roads I can go down, different paths, but because there are so many, I end up doing none of them, because I have this mindset of like, oh, but what if it's the wrong one? And that's what I came to realize in the last year is that is what is hindering me the most, is because I think, oh, I can't commit time to the wrong things. Let me just keep thinking. Let me keep thinking. Oh, maybe I'll come up with a better idea. Maybe I'll come up with something better to do. Maybe it'll all come into, like, I'll figure it all out before I even make my first move. But that's just not how life works. Like, I look back and I see that there's 1 year, 2 years, 5 years I could have spent doing something, and I've done very little other than my job and just a few like things in my spare time. Like, I haven't actually tried to work towards anything or build anything or gain new skills. I just decided I want to spend more time learning, progressing, and then even if it's something that I don't want to do, I can look back and see that I have progressed at something. And realistically, almost all skills have some sort of transferable benefit. Like, referencing back to what I was talking about Counter-Strike, like, even though I've played loads of Counter-Strike and I'm not gonna play that forever, it's still kind of useful stuff in terms of like actual gaming. It is useful. Like, I'm better at first-person shooters because I've played a lot of Counter-Strike. And yeah, maybe there are some other like team stuff which I can take from that. I'll pretend that's the case. It very likely isn't, but yeah. Basically, the New Year's resolution I set for myself this year is to do more stuff, which is like super vague, I know, but it is vague purposely because there's a lot of different things I want to do. I can't just say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. So I'm going to have the mindset that when I have an idea, I'm just going to do it, or at least very strongly consider just starting doing it straight away and just commit time to it. And whether it comes to nothing doesn't really matter, but if I'm putting that time in, I will be gaining skills, I'll be learning. Like right now I'm using Adobe Audition. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just looking at that little bar on the bottom, my little audio levels, and hoping that I'll be able to chop this up a little bit, because there's a few little bits of rambling which I'd like to cut out. But yeah, it's all about skills and growth. And when you are like improving at something, I find personally that it gives a real sense of like, you can look forward to the future instead of dreading it. It's so easy to think like, oh god, so much time's passed. But when you're actually trying to build something, whether it's your fitness, your physique, your mind, your soul, whatever, I don't know, trying to learn some magic, Harry Potter style, I think it's really valuable to have something like that, because you can look to the future and not be worried about it, because you can think, wow, in 6 months time, how much better am I going to be at this? That's really cool. I can't wait to find out. And you'll look back at the past and think, look how far I've come. Whereas if you're not growing or progressing at something, that just doesn't exist. So you look back in time, you think, God, what have I done for last year? Nothing's happened. The time's just flying by. But you can really track the progression of time with the progression of yourself. So I'm currently doing a few little bonus tasks for myself, which I've already briefly mentioned, but I'm learning to juggle. I'm learning to play darts better. I've done one run last month with an interesting goal of doing one run a month this year, and see if I can get better without doing running. I mean, I'm running because I'm doing 12 runs in a year, but realistically that on its own is not enough to get quicker at running. But I think I can. I think I can genuinely get quite quick. I've got a rowing machine, so I'm building my cardio with that, and just do lots of walking, cycling, whatever. And I'll build my cardio, build some strength. And I think I'll be able to do, I mean, don't hold me to this because it's pretty ambitious, but I think I'll be able to do a low 20-minute time. And I think if I full send it, it's not out of the realms of possibility to do a sub 20 5k, which is obviously a pretty respectable time, but a lot of people can achieve that within a year. And if I'm doing lots of other sports and other ways of improving my cardio, I should be fit enough. Just depends if my legs can take the running with such low amount of running. But yeah, fun little tasks, something to look forward to. Maybe I'll be fitter and healthier and happier in the future. And I'll be able to look back and think, I'm proud of myself for committing to these things. But yeah, I think because I've been single now for the last 5 months, I think it is. Yeah, roughly 5 months. Oh, almost 6 months actually. Come on. And I live by myself. It's pretty isolating, but I've always been pretty good at being on my own, and like I enjoy my own company, and like there are some downsides that because I did adapt to living with someone else and sharing my life with someone else, I do miss aspects of that. And like I really understand that having too much solitude is actually pretty negative for yourself. It's not good for the brain in many ways. I think it's one of the core parts which is needed for someone's well-being is having that human interaction. So yeah, there's definite downsides, but the main positive is that I have a lot of time to think and reflect and grow and just work on myself, which is so valuable. I think a lot of people don't give them enough chance to, like themselves, enough chance to heal after a breakup, because realistically it does take time. Like even if you're the one who's like initiating the breakup, it's still hard to move beyond that. And I'm using it as a chance to like figure myself out a bit more, because I think your journey of personal growth and personal understanding is a never-ending one. There's always more you can learn about yourself and more you can progress at. So I'm not gonna like dive back into things. I'm gonna just fly solo, because I think that's a good way to be for a while. And yeah, hopefully I'll not put off relationships forever, because at the same time I don't want to just be alone forever, you know? I saw this funny Instagram meme a few weeks ago, which is like me realizing that I'm going to be the cool uncle with no wife, and it hit home because my sister has had a child this year or last year. So yeah, it's just me vibing out, being the cool uncle, just rocking up every few weeks, checking in and just heading out and doing my own thing. But at least I can be the cool uncle, at least I can do some cool stuff, at least I can do some juggling, maybe that'll impress him. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, this video is just a little, it's kind of just for the sake of doing it. Like essentially I'm learning skills here in Adobe Audition. I'll be chopping it together into Premiere, and then I'll be uploading it and making sure I know how to set the audio levels right and stuff like that, which will benefit me in my future content. So even though this is kind of like a half-baked, half-thought-out bit of content, it will benefit me in the long run. So yeah, that's it. I think I'll maybe do a follow-up, because this was actually kind of fun to do. But ciao.